Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl ShaniaFaithh and we are back. If you're new here, welcome. We're gonna step away from, oh, Jesus. I ain't even got fully started and I'm spilling everything. I don't even know how that happened. But anyway, we're gonna step away from the vlogs for a second and we're gonna get into a little sit down chit chat yap session type of video. We love a good yap session. So today's topic is going to be about, hold on, let me. Okay, today's topic is going to be about life as a mommy, as a new mom. So my son is a year and almost 4 months. And it has been the most beautiful experience, but it has also been the most challenging thing that I've ever experienced in my life. So we're going to get into a little bit of everything. I did ask y'all on my social media what type of questions y'all wanted me to answer, what type of topics y'all wanted me to hit on. A few of you responded, so we need to get better with that. Go follow me on Instagram, all that, TikTok, everything. But yeah, let's just get right into it. I don't really have a list of anything, or there is no order in how I'm going to be talking about this topic. I will pull up what a few people asked me to speak on. Okay, so the first person said that they wanted me to speak on everything. She said, it looks like you balance mommy and personal life so well, but she's struggling. So that's one thing. She just said speak on everything. Somebody said postpartum depression. We are going to get into that, baby, because when I say I experienced that, and I won't say I didn't think that I wouldn't, I just didn't know how big or major the effects would be on my life. Said milestones and when he hit them, and managing having you time. Okay, so where do we start? First things first. My baby is such a beautiful person inside and out. If you know, you know. Anybody that comes in contact with my child is blessed with such a positive and light personality. Like, he attracts, I don't even know how to explain it, but my baby is so, he's just such a beautiful soul. And he's going to do such amazing things in this world. And I cannot wait to see how his life flourishes from this point forward. So like I said, he is 1 and almost 4 months. I think he's advanced. He's tall. He is hitting all the milestones that he should be hitting. So he has a mouthful of teeth. He started getting teeth around, well, he was teething at like 7 weeks. Like, and the doctor was like, oh, he's not teething. Well, I said, okay. At 7 weeks, keep that in mind. Around 3.5, 4 months, he had all 4? I don't know if he had all 4 of his teeth or if he just had the front and bottom 2. And then by, I don't know, I want to say about 5 months, he had all 4. And he was crawling by like 5 months. I'll get to all that. I should have wrote stuff down and had like a little list of everything that I wanted to hit. Okay. Actually, let's get into my birth experience and how all this came about. Like, let's get into the birth experience, the labor and delivery, and then we'll get into like breastfeeding and all that. My labor and delivery. I'm actually going to pull up a picture, or I'll put it on the screen. I think tonight or tomorrow could be the night. So on the 17th of December, I was just like, I was ready to have my baby. I wasn't due until December 22nd. But on the 17th of December, I manually pumped my breast for the first time and immediately started like having like a crampy feeling. So obviously I'm rotating on the ball, doing circles, bouncing or whatever. And yeah, just the rest of that day we was chilling, big vibing, but I was having like that crampy feeling. So by 10 o'clock that night, it was like, whew, okay, these cramp is, you know, the crampy feeling was a little bit more intense, but it still wasn't nothing crazy. It was just like an achy feeling. But I did make my video in the mirror, and I'm like, oh, this could be the day, baby boy could be coming, or whatever. So at 11:58 p.m. that night, I started timing contractions, because I was like, you could just feel the shift in the way that the pain was. So it was like, it went from a period cramp type thing to, oh, this is for real, this is what contractions are. And it was like, okay, it was a definite start and a definite end that you could feel. So I was like, okay, these are real deal. So at first it was like 5 minutes apart, whatever. We live 40 minutes away from the hospital. So, which we did give birth at Northside Atlanta instead of Northside Gwinnett, because anyway, the doctor that I went to, she was actually an alum of North Carolina Central University. And if you know, you know. We both graduated, me and Greg both graduated, was student athletes at North Carolina Central University. And it was just, she was actually a recommendation for somebody that I was working with. And then when I looked her information up and saw that she went to North Carolina Central University, I was like, oh yeah, this is it. Like, I'm going to her. So anyway, that's how we ended up picking the doctor. But, so, like I said, around like 12 o'clock, I was timing them. So I called my mom. And I'm like, at first I was just laying there trying to get through him. I didn't wake Greg up or anything. He was knocked out. So I call my mom. And I'm like, so I probably waited like an hour. Or maybe 30 minutes. Because I was just going to let them, you know, whatever. But they were inconsistent. So they would go 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or whatever. So I called my mom at like almost 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, hey, so I don't know when I should go to the doctor. I'm like, so I'm explaining to her how far they are, and I sent her screenshots of my little timer or whatever. And she's like, okay, well, how about this? She's like, just go ahead, get in the shower, and just call me when you get out. Well, in the shower, when I say these suckers started, like, they started kicking my ass, okay? So I'm like, it still wasn't like nothing crazy, but it was like, oh, and they was back to back. So in the shower, they were a minute apart. So I immediately get out. Well, after I bathe, obviously. I get out, I call my mom, and I'm like, yeah, we're going to the hospital because they're a minute apart. She's like, oh my gosh, like, okay, me and your dad, we already got our bags packed, we're on our way. Mind you, they live 6 hours away. They made it to me in like 3.5 hours. Crazy. But anyway, yeah, had to be like 3.5 hours. But anyway, so we get in the car. I wake Greg up finally, and he's like, why didn't you wake me up? He's running around the house going crazy. And I'm just like, I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal. They wasn't as close. I got in the shower, and then they was back to back. So obviously, get him up, get the car packed. We get to it was so funny because on the way to the hospital, every time I had a contraction, they slowed up a little bit, but then they were back to, every time I had a contraction in the car, I'm like, obviously, like, I'm clenching, I'm grabbing onto anything, I'm not moaning, but I'm like breathing really hard. Every time that happens, Greg is like flooring it, getting it too. We got to the hospital in like 25 minutes. It was crazy. I'm like, Greg, we need to get there safely. I get that you're nervous and you just want to get me to the hospital. Well, we need to get there safely. So, get to the hospital. They low-key try to clown me when I got there because I was still timing my contractions. I didn't know that I could just stop. But anyway, I'm at the check-in desk. And they're like, okay, how far apart? I'm telling them. And they're like, okay, baby, you can stop. You ain't got to time them anymore. You're in labor. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know. This is my first time. So it was like 3 women ahead of me that were there before me, but they put me straight in a triage room because my contractions were literally back to back as soon as I got there. So they put me in a room, or not treat. I don't know what. They put me in a delivery room immediately, like when I got there, or they checked me in triage. They were asking me all these questions. Then they put me straight in a delivery room.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hold on. Whoa. Camera now. Hold on.
Oh.
Hold on. I ain't taking trade, though.
Well, today's the day, I think. I think. Today's the day, for sure.
Breathe. Yeah, breathe. There you go. Breathe. Yeah, do you want your negative or do you want your...
It's and everything, so I think
I got it. You be hot.
What do I do?
Lay down.
Can you take me up? And take my... Oh, wait. Take this.
Y'all got there quick.
I may or may not have been doing the speed limit.
Have they checked her yet?
No, not yet. Because the contractions are so close.
Yeah, but they put me in front of people.
They put her in front of people and already called a doctor.
The what?
They put her in front of people and already called a doctor.
Are they back to back?
Yeah.
She want me to sit her up.
Okay.
You want to walk?
No.
She said, no.
Okay.
All right. That's that way till you get there.
Okay. I'll try. I don't have the urge to push.
Yeah, I'm up. Let's see what you want to walk.
Did Don push?
Yeah, I don't have the urge. They keep asking me.
You're not supposed to get that without your doctor checking.
Hey. I'm gonna get your back.
Oh, you're good. Okay, you hurting? We're gonna go ahead and check you first then, okay? I'm gonna get your baby on the monitor. And let me know when this is done.
Great. Dad said you okay?
Yeah. Just following instructions of filming. At least this part, and then I'm gonna stop filming until I guess it's time. But she's about to.
So we get there, they check me. I'm already 6 centimeters dilated. So they're like, do you want an epidural? Or how do you feel about a medicated birth? And I'm like, oh, I'm not against it at all. But I do want to see how long I can go without getting any medication. At that point, they definitely should have told me, okay, that's fine. But if I'm telling them that I'm not against having a medicated birth, they should have told me, okay, well, just so you know, if you choose to get an epidural, you have to wait 20 minutes for the bag of fluid, whatever, and then wait for the anesthesiologist to be available. Right? You would think they would tell you that if you're saying you're not against a medicated birth. But they didn't. So 7 centimeters I was dilated, and I'm like, okay, I want an epidural. They're like, okay, which I'm surprised they even let me get one that late, because people say once you get past a certain point of dilation, they won't give you the epidural, but they gave me mine. So they checked me once again before, or they checked me. I'm 7 centimeters dilated. I say, I want the epidural. I need it now. Then that's when they tell me, okay, well, you have to wait for a full bag of fluid to go into your IV. And I'm like, okay, whatever. 20 minutes go by. They check me again before they give me the epidural. I'm like 7.5, 8 centimeters dilated. Come in, give me the epidural. When they do that, I'm freaking out because obviously I'm like, I don't want to move. What if I have a contraction while they're giving me the epidural? They're like, you probably are going to, but you're fine. Just be as still as possible. So all that happens. And then after the epidural, baby, I was big chilling. Like, big chilling. But the crazy thing is my labor was so fast, and everyone says like the first labor that you have is usually like a marathon. It's slow and steady. No, baby, my whole labor and delivery was like 6 hours, 6.5 hours. So from the time that I started like having true contractions was to the time that my son arrived in this world, which was 6:27 in the morning. 6.5 hours, baby. I'll take it. And then they was just telling me, like, the doctor, she was just like you are built for this. Like, you are meant to have children, because this is crazy how easy and smooth sailing that this is for you. And I'm blessed, and I thank God every day how simple and easy my birth was, or my baby's birth was. And yeah, she was like, I only pushed like twice. So, well, I'll say I pushed like 2 sessions of pushing. So you push usually like 3 times each push. So I pushed maybe like 5 to 6 times, and my baby was here. And it was a breeze. And they was just kind of like, okay, can you feel like when you're having a contraction? I was like, no, not really. Like, that epidural had me, I couldn't feel anything. Because most people say, like, you can still feel the pressure. I couldn't tell when I was having a contraction. They had to tell me, like, okay, let's push. So it was a blessing. And my doctor was basically just like, okay, next baby, the first contraction that you feel, you need to head to the hospital, because clearly this is like you're a rare case, basically. And she was like, usually the second child comes faster. So the first contraction that you feel, you need to hop in the shower, head to the doctor. But it was just a amazing experience. I loved every minute of it. I was definitely blessed with the experience that I did have. So then let's get into the breastfeeding, baby. Breastfeeding is not for the weak, okay? So all in all, I breastfed on the breast, I want to say, for probably a month. Then after that, no, I went straight to pumping. And even with that, it was just so bad for me. I kept having, not engorged. Engorged is going to happen. But clogged milk ducts. And if you know, oh my goodness, that can be so painful. It can cause mastitis. And you do not want that. There was times where I almost passed out in the shower just from the pain. And I was like trying to get in the shower to unclog the duct. And I would be like massaging and just try to do anything to get it loose. And it just kept happening for me. And so that was a big struggle. I think it was a struggle mentally on me to pump and breastfeed. So I stopped around, I'll say I stopped around 4 months. I stopped pumping. But I had, like, obviously I had milk that I had frozen. So my baby probably got breast milk up until he was like 6 months. But yeah, so I stopped at around 4 months. because it was just a lot. And then once I stopped doing that, I did feel a little bit more free. I'm sorry about the lighting. My light keeps going off. But I did feel a little bit more free. And I felt like I could actually do stuff. I could go places. I could do that before. But it was something on my mental when it came to breastfeeding. And before I even started breastfeeding, I told myself, like, if I couldn't do it, I wouldn't beat myself up about it. But easier said than done, because I wish that I could have gone longer. I wish that I could have at least made it to like 6-7 months on the breast. But I'm also okay with my decision to stop, because ain't no telling where I would be right now if I would have kept going. And again, don't feel bad if you're one of the people who can't breastfeed, because honestly, I don't know. I did say I would give it a try again for my second child. And if I just can't do it, I'm just not going to do it, because I refuse to go through the pain that I went through with the first one. Now, the nipple being sore and stuff, that's one thing. But it's the clogged tear ducts for me. I can't do that. So I guess it would be milestones and when he hit them. He started, I don't know officially, I think he started crawling officially at 6 months. Like, full on crawling, pulling himself up on stuff, just everything. He started walking, like, no help, no assisting, at 10 months, almost 11 months. And by that time, he has a mouth full of teeth. Like, he has all his teeth, basically. And I'm trying to think what else. I really should have wrote down, like, my son's milestones and when everything happened. Let me go to his little album. Okay, let's see if I could piece it together. 5 months, he was sitting up by himself and attempting to crawl. 6 months, he was crawling. He was sitting up. By 9 months, my baby had like 14 teeth in his mouth. He had a lot of teeth. Like I said, by the end of October, he was walking. And he's just such a light in my life. He is such a light in so many other people's lives. Like, now he's talking, of course. He says mama, dada. He says bird. He says ball. He says dog. Eat. Like, he could say a list of words. And I'm very impressed. I love that for him. And he's just so smart. So smart. He's such an outgoing personality, too. Love that for me. He doesn't know a stranger. That can be a good and a bad thing. Right now, it's a good thing, I think. He's just such a light to be around. I could go on and on about my baby. Okay, let's get right into postpartum, baby. Postpartum depression is a real thing. I think this is the most, and this is me being so vulnerable right now. But I think this is the most struggle that my relationship has had, or the biggest challenge that my relationship has had with my husband. Only because I begged him beforehand to, like, you know, read up on postpartum depression. I'm like, it doesn't happen to everyone, but you never know. And everyone's experience with it can be different. So, I begged him to, like, do research on it beforehand. Did he? No. And this is not me downing my husband at all, okay? I'm just giving you my perspective and how it affected me and my relationship. We're good now. I just got to the point where I feel like I'm getting out of the postpartum depression phase. Obviously, you'll still have your days. You'll still have things that trigger it. But for the most part, I feel like I'm good. I'm on the other side of it. But yeah, it is really something that affects a lot of women, and it can destroy and damage a lot of relationships. Not only your romantic relationships, but your platonic relationships as well. So I have lost a lot of friends. I have butt heads with my husband. And it kind of feels like I try my best to take accountability for my part in it. But at the same time, postpartum depression is a thing that you can't really control. You have no control over it. In a sense, like you could try your best to get out of it, but your hormones are all over the place. Like you legit don't have control over it. So a part of me, like I said, tries to find accountability in situations of where like, oh, I don't speak to these people anymore or whatever. But then the other side of me is kind of just like, it kind of makes me view people in a different light, because it's like, especially people who knew that I was struggling, who I told was struggling, or who I told that I was struggling. It's kind of like, okay, you don't care. It could be a thing of you don't care, or thinking that it's an excuse that I'm throwing out there, or it could be you really just don't understand how postpartum depression works, and that's fine. Again, I'm not mad at anybody that I don't speak to anymore. It's just kind of like I just removed myself from a lot of situations because I felt like grace wasn't given to me when I needed it the most. So yeah, that's that. But like I said, as far as my relationship with my husband, I get how people say, or why people say, that a baby can ruin relationships, because again, postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, postpartum anything, it affects you so deep and you have zero control over it, that it's like, I just need you to understand me and not take everything personal. That's the biggest thing, is don't take everything so personal. Hear what I'm saying and fix what you can fix. But if I'm just the smallest little thing ticking me off and I'm exploding, again, I'm not saying that that's okay, but I have no control over it a lot of the time. This was when I was in it deep. Or I'm constantly, and then, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm all over the place. But it doesn't help that I have a husband who wants to fix everything. Like, he thinks that he can fix everything. And I try to explain to him, like, this is something that you can't fix. You can try your best to not add to the problem, but you can't fix this. Like, I don't know what to tell you to make me feel better, if that makes any sense. And he struggled with that because he wants to fix everything. Like, that's an understatement, what I'm saying. So for him, and he likes to show a lot of tough love too. And I feel like in this time, I didn't need tough love. I needed to be able to be vulnerable. I needed to be able to be weak, honestly, because that's how I felt. I don't believe that you're weak if you're going through this, but that's just how I felt. Is let me be weak. Let me get through this, but just be there for me, really. That's all I ask for anybody. If you know anybody that is going through postpartum depression, just be there for them. That's it. Just have grace for them. Be patient with them. And yeah, just stick in it into the long run. Like, they'll get through. This is not going to last forever. They just need a little second. So, I mean, that's all I can really say on that. If you are someone who's going through postpartum depression right now, it doesn't last forever. You will get through it. You are not alone. So many women go through this, but you are not alone. When I tell y'all, that was the toughest part of this whole thing, was postpartum depression. And yeah, I'm just happy to be on the other side of it. For the husbands and the friends out there, just give them grace. Give them grace. Be patient with them. Love on them. And just don't add to the stress. That's all I can really ask of you. Okay, balancing mommy and personal life and managing you time. So that's one and the same. So at first, it was very hard for me to have me time because I felt guilty for leaving my son for any reason. So I can remember the first time my husband, I want to say it was around maybe the 2-month mark, my husband scheduled my first nail appointment after I had him, and it was such a breath of fresh air. Now, getting up to the point of me leaving the house and leaving my son, even though I knew he was safe with my husband, again, that's another postpartum thing. Like, I feel like nobody can keep my baby safe like I can, even my husband. That's how I felt at the time. So it was such a struggle to actually get out the house and go get my nails done or go get me a bite to eat by myself or anything. But once I actually got there and, you know, relaxed and sat back and had me time, it was such a breath of fresh air. It was something that is so needed, and it's so easy for women to, or mothers to, only know how to be a mother. And I didn't want that for me. Again, at the beginning, I don't care. I don't care if that's what I want or I don't care. I don't even know how to put it in words. All I want to do is be with my child and protect my child. I don't care who else comes to see my child. That's another thing. We'll get into family. But I don't care who comes to see my child. I don't care who doesn't. This is just time for me and this is time for my immediate family. I do recommend that nobody comes to visit until after 2 months or after your baby gets their first shots. And stand on that. For the people who are going to get mad, okay, well, I'm telling you now, at this point, I don't want any visitors until after a certain point. Respect that. And if you can't respect that, okay, that's fine too. Like, I don't care. Like, at the end of the day, my child and my family is all that matters from here on forward. But anyway, managing you time. You just have to make it a priority. Obviously, once you get to a point where you feel comfortable leaving your baby with someone, obviously, that you trust and that you feel has your baby's best interest at heart, your best interest at heart, go and take that time. Like me, we just now started a little thing with my girls where every month somebody in the group plans a date, a girls' date. And baby, I'm making sure I'm there every single month. Now, this month might be a little different because my husband is in Africa for the entire month of April, which is my birthday month, so that sucks. But I'm gonna try and find a babysitter, and I'm gonna go out on that outing with the girls because that's important. I look forward to that now, actually. I don't really have any advice on that other than you just have to make it a priority. You have to find hobbies, which I'm working on that. I need more hobbies that take up my time. Like, if that makes any sense. I don't know, y'all. I should have wrote this stuff down. I just feel like it's a priority. Keep you first. Keep your family in the forefront, but keep you first. Because what good are you to your baby if you're not okay? And that's just really how I look at it. Overall, family, friends, your relationship. Yes, your relationship is important because if there wouldn't be no baby if it wasn't for you and your spouse or you and your significant other. So your relationship is very important, but you yourself are the most important thing to that child. You're all that child has ever known. And it's really just up to you. I definitely didn't think that the friend... So I wasn't oblivious to the fact that women get postpartum depression and go through these phases or anything. But the part that threw me for a loop was the fact that I didn't know the friendship breakups were going to happen the way that they did. I didn't know that was a thing. I don't know, y'all. I just feel like the friends thing threw me for a loop. And then also, in the midst of all this, in the midst of me going through postpartum depression, let's just give you a little life update. Y'all know I lost my job at the end of October. Got fired. Then I was going through postpartum depression, deep, like in it. I started losing friends. I started feeling like, I started losing family, like losing them in a sense of entitled, like people feeling entitled to you and to your life and what you bring. And me just leaving people where they're at. That's just where I've got, and I have been so much more at peace with it lately that I'm sorry, like I don't even care. In the beginning of all the friendship breakups, and again, they're not even like big blow ups or anything like that, but it's just kind of like we're just at two different places in our lives, and that's okay. And that's okay. And I'm fine with that. We can leave things where they're at, honestly. Do I want to mend certain relationships? Yes. Do I care to now? I would still be open to it, but no, I don't care to. Like, I'm fine. I'm at peace now. I feel better now. So, again, I'm not going to fault myself for going through something that I had no control over. Again, I'm not saying I didn't play any role in any of this, but I kind of just look at it from both ends, because it's like I said, I tried to find accountability, and I do see my faults in these interaction situations or whatever. But then again, I'm not sorry. I don't apologize for what I was going through. And it was just, I don't know. At one point, it was just a lot at once. And I think it was like the thick of it. I want to say around December was the thick of my postpartum depression. And it just felt like everything was happening all at once. I felt like I kind of wasn't good enough for a lot of things. And then I ended up getting sick. It was just a bunch at one time. And then on top of having postpartum depression, it didn't help. It was a lot of triggers. It was a lot of things that I felt like I couldn't get out of. But at the end of the day, I did. I'm standing here today. I feel way much better. I prioritize myself. I make sure that I have plans, not only with my family, but outside of my family. And I think that's the biggest thing. As far as the comment, it seems like you have a good balance. I do now. In the beginning, I did not have a good balance. It was strictly, all I care about is my son. And that's okay. And I'm not sorry for that. That is perfectly fine for me to feel that way and to act that way in the beginning of, it's a major transition in life. It's such a huge transition that it takes time. And that's why I just want to push giving the people around you grace. It takes time. That's a major life shift. Especially I'm almost 29. I'm in the midst of having a ball, doing it whatever I want, whenever I want. And I wouldn't change it for the world though. Like that, I'm not upset about that. But it's just a major change. And I feel like the people around you have to realize that as well. And shout out to the people who do stick around. Shout out to the people who are patient and do give grace, because y'all are a blessing in itself. Like y'all are such a huge blessing to people, and y'all don't even realize it. So big shout out to y'all. I'm trying to think what else, y'all. Hopefully I can edit this to where it's not like all over the place, because right now this is all over the place. I'm just at the phase of enjoying my son, enjoying every bit of it. When they say the time flies, again, that's an understatement. The time flying by is such an understatement. It don't even make any sense. Like, I will just, when I put my son to bed now, I would just hold him sometimes, and I'll just sit there, look at him, and cry. Because I'm like, you are not my little baby anymore. And it's so sad because it's like, I just want you to be tiny. But I also enjoy watching you grow and flourish. Like, oh, y'all, I can't explain it. This is such an amazing feeling. And when they say it's a love that is so different, yes, I can second that 100%. It's a love that is like no other. Big shout out to all the parents out there. To the parents that are doing a big one. Are we gonna have any more kids? Are we gonna have more kids? Are we gonna have them soon? How long are we waiting before we start trying? Let's get into that. So, yes, I want more kids. 1 for sure. 2 more max. I feel like 3 max. That's how I feel right now. We're not trying right now for another one. Greg, my husband, he definitely wants to try. Like 2 months ago, he wanted to start trying. Really at my son's first birthday. Really before my son's first birthday, he was trying to hint that he wanted to start trying. And I was like, can we get past his first birthday? And then we could revisit the conversation. Please. And so now we have been talking about it. We've been talking. And I'm open to it. This is my birthday month, right? April 29th. Shout out to the Tauruses out there. You know, we're the only sign that really matters. I'm just kidding, y'all. But y'all ain't never met a Taurus that y'all didn't like. Let's be honest. Look, big Taurus energy, okay? Y'all ain't never met a Taurus that y'all didn't like. But anyway, it's my birthday month. So obviously I want to get past my birthday because your girl trying to get lit selfishly. But that's okay because I can be selfish when it comes to that. So we're going to get lit for my birthday. We're going to Texas. Gonna have a big, the theme is going to be the last rodeo in my 20s. Yeah, because I'm going to be big 29. And it's my golden year. I'm going to be 29 on the 29th. Ah, that's so cute. But anyway, so we're going to get past that. But then also, I got tickets to go see Chris Brown in August. So selfishly, again, I'm kind of like, okay, let's wait until after August because I want to be able to get lit. Like, if that's what I want to do, I want to do that. And I don't care who judges me for it. So, the goal is maybe September. So September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. Okay, yeah, I could do that. June or July. I could do that. So, okay. We're shooting for like September. And then I could do that. And then by the time I have the second baby, Trey will be 2.5. Yeah, that sounds great to me. So yes, I'm open to it, and there's that. But all in all, I had a beautiful experience. It is a year and it's almost a year and a half since I've had my baby, and I feel amazing. I still am trying to get back to myself. I'm not going to say that I'm fully back. I don't think that's going to happen for maybe another year. I don't know how long that's going to take, but I'm feeling more like myself. I'm getting in the groove of things. I will say, enforce that a routine is needed. You need a routine, you need a schedule, and that's, well, for me, I needed that because before I had all that, when I tell you all over the place, and I'm already easily overstimulated and overwhelmed, so it was just chaos. But shout out to my sister-in-law. She came out here and helped me, and she basically helped us get on a schedule, and it was just so helpful. I'm telling you, a schedule is everything. Now, you do have to adjust your routine as you go along the way, and that could be irritating. Like, I used to tell my husband, I'd be like, it feels like we get the hang of things, and then a new milestone comes up or a new thing comes up and you gotta fit it into the routine and stuff. So it's just a learning experience the whole way through. Give yourself grace. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy this video. If you like videos like this and want to see more, comment down below. And also, let's chat it up in the comments down below about your experience. If there's anything else you want me to expand on, ask me in the comments, DM me, anything. And let's chat it up. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up and share this with your close friends or anybody that you know is going through this and maybe needs a little pick me up to let them know that they're not in it forever and they're not in it by themselves. Send this to them. Yes, thank you guys so much for supporting me. I pray that you stick around for the long run. And I love you guys so much. Stay tuned for more videos. Bye.